Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Bonebreaker Wave SIRYN as part of the X-Men batch. And I'm all for X-Men characters. This isn't what I really cared about, and I'm happy to say it's not that good, so if you didn't want it, you don't really have to track it down. It's got a couple of things that are going in its favor for sure, but then mostly things that aren't. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 6 1/8 inches, not counting the hair flips. That's going to make it pretty close to, let's just say 15.5 centimeters. They're not quite exact, but close enough. So this figure is using mostly new parts. I do believe this part is old, probably the boobages also. I think the shoulders are also old, and then we have new arms and new legs. New as in new-ish. They are the pinless ones, double jointed elbows. And there are some benefits to this whole setup here, but there are also some major drawbacks. And I feel like we're not even stepping forward. It's not like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We're just treading water. No stepping, just treading water. And it's not a great situation. But first, we have to do a quick question of the day. Did you want a SIRYN figure? I can honestly say it's not a character I ever thought about in any way. Maybe there's a specific team that people wanted her for, but I just never cared. I never cared at all. So you guys can let me know. Okay. Oh, here's another question of the day. How important are double jointed elbows to you on an action figure? For me, they're a pretty big deal. I think it's good because it gives you much better range. Single jointed elbows are fairly limited. However, if the budget that goes into making them double jointed, if it's taken away from things that are probably more important, then that's a problem for me. Alright, so this figure, let's just hit the things that stand out to me. First, the torso is super shiny. Legs and arms are matte finish. Top is matte finish. That's because this is all PVC except for this part, which is not, and they have the finish wrong. The paint job is super terrible. I shouldn't say that. It's super fuzzy. It's not good. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but it looks cheap. Like, I can easily paint a cleaner line than that. Even with yellow, I can paint a cleaner line than that. It's not good. Her little thong paint job, I know it's not an actual thong, but it's really bad. The paint job is not good on the body. The X logo is okay, but everything else is pretty sloppy. Her face, the details are painted well, but I can't say they made her look like a comic book character. That looks like just some lady. Like, she's fairly plain looking. I don't know. The eyes are painted well, though. You know what I think part of the problem is the look on the face is just so blank. Everything they have, all the Marvel Legends coming out, not all, but most, it's like they don't want to be there. The Legends, not the sculptors. It's weird. And then the hair color, there's no wash or anything, and it's this really weird, dull, but very orange. Let me grab the box art. See the difference there? Like, that's very orange, but because it's shaded, it looks good, and it's also more saturated. This is so dull and not shaded that it looks like crap. These look like Marvel Legends almost all look like prototypes at this point. They look like, because they don't even look like paint samples. They look like prototypes that somebody just threw some paint on to get the idea across. It doesn't look good. The way they connected the cape, which we'll talk about in the articulation, it's not okay. It makes the figure look goofy as hell. It's constantly sticking out funny because of it, so that's not good. The shoulders, I didn't think they could do this, but they managed to make the shoulders, even on the female figures, too small and too low. The shoulders are smaller than the biceps again. I don't mean like the muscle group, the bicep. I mean the whole upper arm. Action figure talk, the bicep area. The shoulders are too small, too low. She has these giant holes in her back. Cape is actually done well as far as the cape itself, but the way it connects to the figure is bad. The anatomy on this figure is not good. The arms are very unshapely. They have no shape to them at all. Torso's very missing, very I can't speak anymore, guys. Not sleeping is just really getting to me. I can't wait till my baby, like, she sleeps really well. Okay, you don't care. So the muscle groups are not well defined on the figures, what I'm trying to say. The legs, even though they're the newer legs that are generally closer to the right shape, they're not sculpted like superhero legs. There's no real definition to them at all. And then the lower legs, it's not just because of these ankle things that make them look like she has fat cankles. It's that her lower legs are not sculpted well. Look at her calves. That's not how calves look. I'll post a reference image for like well-defined female calves. They're not like 2/3 of the leg and flat. It's just... They don't look like superheroes at all, really, anymore. Nothing. This looks like some lady in cosplay, and not particularly good cosplay, like cosplay made out of, I don't know, crap. So, aesthetically speaking, this figure doesn't have anything going for it, really, except the detail paintwork is really clean for the eyes and mouth. I'll give it a super generous 5 out of 10 for that, but otherwise it looks really crap. Oh, this looks nice too. This is well executed. That's it. That's it. Accessories, 2 fist hands, and 2 clenchy hands. Also, not having an alternate head, that's getting to be a problem. It's just not a good situation because they want to sculpt like super plain heads and then not give you a yelling head or something like that. Or just give you a yelling head. How about you give us at least a plain head with a little bit of character to it, a little bit of attitude, something going on, if you're not going to do it a yelling head. It's just like... I feel like there's no reason to buy any Marvel Legends at this point. I mean, like, there's a handful that come out occasionally that are good, but these are so frustrating. So yeah, only grippy hands, or clenchy hands with her fist hands. 2 out of 10 for accessories. As for the articulation, this is one of the worst cases of lollipop that I've ever seen. It is absurd. It's atrocious. You can do that with it. So that's helpful, you know, for all of the posing that you might want to do. You can't really lean it back at all because the hair gets in the way. It's just ridiculous how high up off the neck the head sits. Whatever. Shoulders, they go up better than horizontal, that's fine. Full rotation, kind of, except the cape is just wedged in there and the shoulder is pegged over it. So, like, there's no loop or anything like on Storm to hold it in there. So it's just the cloth material, the fabric, going inside the shoulder and then it's just pegged over. So as you rotate the shoulder, it stretches this, which is kind of like what they were going for, I guess, but it clearly didn't work. And then it's the same thing for the wrists. There's no loop or anything, it's just a hole cut in the fabric, and then the plastic is pegged through it. So it's constantly getting twisted and turned and mangled, and it's not curved at all to fit on the hand or on the arm to peg into the wrist area. It's just... I swear there's like zero effort being put into these things. It's getting frustrating. This is not fun for me as a reviewer to constantly show you things that are no good. But I know people are going to keep wanting to buy Marvel Legends, and so I have to keep reviewing them. I can't just say they're all bad, don't buy them. That's not helpful to anybody. Double jointed elbow works nice, so that's good. But yeah, the sculpt on the arms, like they made a whole new set of arm pieces, but then gave it virtually zero sculpt work. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Diaphragm joint on this figure, it works okay. It's one of the better ones, it's nice. Get your rotation out of it. They did paint the yellow going up, so that's alright. The hips on this one, they go forward, they do kick off to the side a little bit, but you get a decent forward kick, so that's good. They go back a little bit out to the side. Going straight out to the side. Just better than 45 degrees. That's not good. They didn't need to do that. See, it's not even about the sculpt of the hip. It's about where you place the peg. And they didn't put it in the right spot. Thigh swivel is okay. Double jointed knees. They work nice enough. That's pretty good. Can't complain about that. Ankles go all the way back and all the way forward. That's fine. Ankle rocker is okay. The feet are super flat. They're very, very thin. But okay, so articulation on this figure is okay. I'll give it Marvel Legends 7. The head doesn't really pose well at all. The cape being wedged in the joints hurts it. Hips not going out to the side. Yeah, there's still plenty of problems with this, even though it's a lot of new parts. So final verdict on this release, unless you really wanted SIRYN, it's not very good. So don't buy it. If you really wanted it and you're okay with the $27 price point at Marvel Legends, then I guess it's okay because it's a $27 average at best Marvel Legends figure. So I'll give it a final verdict of 6 out of 10. It just doesn't look good. It's not well executed. It doesn't look good. The hair doesn't even have a wash in it. It's not bright. It's not colorful. Like, have they seen comics? Comics are bright and colorful. Comics have like the epitome of what humans are supposed to look like: physiques, facial features, all that kind of stuff. The Marvel Legends, it's like they're trying to make them look like... I can't even make the comments I want to make. They're trying to make them look like plain ordinary people. Let's just put it that way. That's a YouTube saved comment. It looks like plain ordinary people dressed up in crappy costumes of comic book characters. I don't see a point in collecting these anymore. I keep saying that in all the reviews, and I don't want to. I want them to be great. It seems like they're actively trying to lose collectors. That's what it seems like to me. McFarlane's improving on a regular basis. NECA's been good for a while, like for a long while, and they're still doing, like every company is at least holding their ground. Hasbro's just like backpedaling as fast as they can away from people who want quality. I don't get it. So I don't know. You guys can let me know. Comment down below what you think about the whole situation. But that's it for me. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.